Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking time out of your afternoon today to join us and learn how to start a program in your local area. We are recording this webinar, so any questions that you may be putting into the chat box, I unfortunately won't be able to answer at this time, but I will be putting an email address up on the page at the end of the webinar that you are welcome to send any questions that you might have, and I will be happy to follow up with you after the webinar is complete. Today's webinar is specific to how to start an InVEST program. So this is really for those people who already know about the InVEST program. You're familiar somewhat with our resources. You're sold. You know you want to get one started, and this is to provide you information and next steps on how to do that. If you do are familiar with InVEST and you're not quite sure what it involves, the different resources we have, I'd be more than happy to discuss with you separately more information about our program so you can get up to speed. But again, this one is just specific to people who are sold on trying to start a new program. So just as I said, you are already ready up to speed and know all about the program. You just don't know where to start next. Perhaps you already have some people interested and you're really just looking to know what it is that we recommend you do in order to get a program up and running and be the best that you can provide to your local school and the local insurance professionals in your area. It's really a 5-step process, which might sound like a lot, but it's really easy when you piece it all together. The first thing you're going to want to do is to reach out to local insurance professionals in your area. You're going to want to see if you have other people around you that are interested in probably getting an InVEST program started as well. Not only will it help you, you'll be able to provide more guest speaking opportunities. You'll have some more people to bounce ideas off of, perhaps help you with creating the schedule for the teacher. But it's also going to look a lot more appealing to that school if there are more members of the community that are looking to get involved. They love having new faces in the school. They love having volunteers and things like that. So if there's more people involved, it's going to look a lot more attractive to that particular school. Places you can consider looking for some volunteers might be your Young Agents Committee in your state or local area. Young agents are great to get involved with the InVEST program. A lot of times the local committees are already looking for a project to embrace. They have all these young agents involved. They just need to find something for them to really do and make their own. And being involved with an InVEST program really gives them an activity that they can take ownership of. In addition, lots of times InVEST students really resonate a lot better with the young agents. They're a little bit closer in their age range. They like listening more about their particular career since it's someone that's a little bit closer to them as opposed to someone who might look a little bit like what their parents, their parents' age. It might just help them out a little bit better and might be able to make them connect a little bit more if they have a young agent in the classroom talking to them. Another great resource is to look at local groups in your area. Perhaps you have CPCU chapters, maybe some NIA chapters. I know NetView has a great Young Professionals chapter as well. There could be some great resources in your local area that you can reach out to find some more volunteers to get involved. In addition, even just solo Big I members, we have lots of state associations that will actually have booths at their local conferences or even their state conventions that have more information about InVEST and provide some information to distribute to their local agents and even the carrier people that are in attendance. We are happy to send you some flyers or information that you can distribute there. So if you're looking to do that, just let us know. Once you've kind of gathered a group of people together, your next step would be to either schedule a meeting or a conference call to really talk with them more about the InVEST program and what we offer and how they can get involved. You can ask InVEST staff in advance if you want some flyers or materials, even a copy of our hard copy textbook to be able to show the insurance professionals prior to the meeting. We are more than happy to do that. And we're also available to call in if you want us to. We can be as little as involved or as most involved as you want us to. If you want us to really just serve as a lifeline on the phone call in case an agent or carrier person has a specific question that you're not comfortable answering, or if you even want us to completely lead the call and do a complete webinar and explain what InVEST is, walk through all of the resources, we are certainly able to do that. So we are available at any capacity that you would like us to. But once you have that meeting or conference call with the volunteers, you can explain everything about the InVEST program, what we have to offer, where we're looking for volunteers, which is typically just volunteering in the classroom and talking to students about particular subjects. You can really gather how many people that you have to be able to help you with this program before you go and approach the school. That being said, your next step would be is to find a school that you want to implement the InVEST program in. This could sound like it'd be kind of difficult, but really it hasn't proved to be very hard in the last few years to be able to find schools that are interested in implementing these programs. Great places to look for possible connections for schools is maybe there's someone within your committee or another Big I member who maybe has a student at a local school. Maybe it's their child's teacher, maybe it's someone's neighbor, or maybe their son's football coach happens to be a teacher. They're great avenues for you to be able to look into to just have your foot in the door and be able to find a contact at a local school. Keep in mind, it doesn't have to be the teacher that would be teaching the program. We are really implemented in 11th and 12th grade classes, but perhaps maybe your neighbor is a 9th grade teacher. They would know a good teacher to be able to connect you with. And again, just giving that personal touch of a direct connection really gets your foot in the door and able to connect with the appropriate teacher to implement the InVEST program in. Really the best classes, and it can really vary depending on your local area, the different classes that they offer, and perhaps just the teaching schedules and things like that. But these are 4 classes that we've seen a lot of success in that InVEST has been implemented into. Entrepreneurship classes are great classes for InVEST to go into. Same with personal finance. Personal finance classes have really grown in a lot of states. Most states actually offer a personal finance requirement for students to be able to graduate. So they have to go through a full semester personal finance class in order to graduate from high school. And insurance plays a part of personal finance. So we see InVEST popping up in a lot of personal finance classes. Another great class is just a general business. We've seen lots of success in this. There oftentimes is a lot more flexibility in these general business classes as well, so you can expand the program as much as you want to. We've seen lots of schools do that. A great area that we've really seen a lot of growth in, especially the last year or two, has been career and technical education classes, also known as CTE programs. And those are really for schools that are looking to provide some business skills and career opportunities for students who may not be going on to a 4-year school. So we've seen great success in programs like these, and that's a great area where you can really implement more of the career training aspects that I'll talk a little bit more about in just a moment. So once you've figured out who the contact person is at the school, you know the teacher you want to talk to, now's your time to really set up that meeting with the school. The meeting could either be in person or it can be through a webinar or conference call, whatever you and the teacher are most comfortable with. Keep in mind that a lot of teachers do work like this after hours. So they may request that you do a meeting after normal business hours, sometimes in the evenings, or very rarely, but it has happened on the weekends as well. Just keep in mind teachers work on different schedules. So they don't really follow a lot of times the same business hours that we are used to. So try to be open-minded when they're talking about what works for them, and you realize that it may not be falling before 5 o'clock in the evening. When you set up that meeting with the teacher, sometimes it's going to be just with the teacher. Other times maybe it's a curriculum coordinator, which some school districts have. Sometimes maybe they'll want their principal to join in the meeting. It really depends on the particular school and what their requirements are. In most areas, the teacher is able to take ownership of their curriculum, and as long as they are fitting within the requirements, they can use whatever resources that they want to, as long as they're hitting their classroom requirements. In other school districts, sometimes it's a little bit more regulated, and maybe the curriculum coordinator needs to approve what that particular teacher is doing, or sometimes even the principal. So just realize when you're setting up this meeting with the teacher that they may want some other people to join in on the meeting. It's not to be difficult, or it's not that they aren't open to the idea. It just depends on the particular area and what their requirements are when they're implementing their curriculum. When you have this meeting, basically you want to go through with the teachers and talk to them about the program in more detail. Talk to them about the resources that we have, how flexible we are. As most of you probably know, we are implemented as little as 2 weeks or as much as an entire year. And we can go on all different types of subjects related to insurance that really best fits their needs. So just going through with that and talking to them about what we have. Just as I said before with the meeting with the insurance professionals, if you do want InVEST to help you with that meeting, we are more than happy to help you do that. We can either call in and just sit on the call just in case you have a question, or we're also more than happy to lead the call as well. So we could do a go-to meeting similar to this, walk the teacher through the website, show them the different resources we have. At the same time, if you are comfortable with leading that meeting and doing it on your own, you're more than welcome to do that. We do not have to be involved. We're just really there as a resource if you think it'd be helpful. With meeting with teachers, we've realized that there's a couple words that really resonate with them and really kind of wow them with why they want to implement the program. The first one is that our program is free. Teachers aren't used to getting free materials, so this is something very exciting to them, especially when a lot of schools have very strict budgets right now. Implementing new programs can seem like it's going to be a pain because they have to go through an approval process to get funding, but there's none of that needed for our programs because it is completely free. After we tell the teachers that it's free, sometimes they think there's a catch. Again, they are not used to people coming to them asking them to implement a new program when there's no cost. And so they sometimes think that these insurance people are trying to sell me something. And so another great thing to bring up to them is that InVEST is a nonprofit program. We are supported by several insurance companies, insurance carriers, and other organizations, and we represent an insurance trade association that has thousands of insurance agents. So we are not promoting a particular brand. We're not promoting any particular sort of coverage. We're just a nonprofit organization that is supported by so many different people and so many different brands, and we're all united to be able to provide this information to the students. So once they hear that, it kind of sets a sigh of relief and they understand, okay, this nonprofit just wants to help my students out. They're really not trying to sell me anything. As I said before, the word flexible is really helpful for teachers. Oftentimes they like to do things a certain way. Maybe they like to do more things online. Sometimes they like to do more lectures. The great thing about our program is we have so many resources and it can be implemented however they want to. So the fact that our program is very flexible, not only in the resources, but in the time frame, is also very helpful for teachers. And it also can help them if they realize they can just put it in for maybe a couple weeks to start and not have to go into a full-fledged semester-long program, but maybe just start off with 3 or 4 weeks to see how it goes. It can be a little bit easier for them and might be a little more lucrative just starting off. Guest speakers is another great thing that teachers love to hear about. The students listen to them speak every day, and the fact that they could have a different face come in and talk to the students is very exciting, and the students really like it too. So the fact that we're able to offer guest speakers is a great plus for our program. In addition, our scholarship program. Teachers love to be able to provide opportunities for their students. And the fact that we do have 4 different types of scholarships available is a great thing to bring up to the teachers. In addition, we have these great flyers that you can take with you for in-person meetings with schools. They're actually being printed right now, so we don't have them in stock just yet, but we should have them in about a week or two. So probably the very beginning of September, we'll have these ready to send out. But they are 6 different flyers, and they really talk about the main different aspects of our program. So the one I have on the screen right now is talking about our textbooks, lesson plans, and quizzes. So you'll find information about that. These are also presented in a really pretty folder. They are not made for mass production, so this wouldn't be something you'd want to hand out at your conference. This is specific for those in-person meetings, or if you are doing the phone call virtually, maybe you can hard copy mail this, or we can mail this to the teacher in advance. So if you need, maybe 5 copies of something like this, we'd be happy to send those out to you. The next one we have, it actually focuses on guest speakers. Again, bringing that outside world into the classroom, bringing the reality of this thing set. It really talks a little bit more about how guest speakers can add to the program and what they've done. And just the last one here I'm showing you again is on scholarships. Teachers love hearing about our scholarships, and so it's another great flyer we have as well. In addition to these 3, we also have 3 other ones, and they talk about our simulation, just the general overview of InVEST, and also the career information about insurance careers that we provide to students as well. So those are the additional 3 flyers that are included in that booklet. Okay, so after you've met with the teacher, all right, they're ready. They are sold. They want to teach InVEST. They're ready to rock and roll. The first step you're going to want to do is to register them with us. They're not going to be able to access the resources, and they won't be eligible for our scholarships unless you know that the school is ready to go. So all you have to do is just shoot us an email, or the teacher can actually register right online, and we can get them set up with a username and password to be able to access the resources on our website. Once you've got them registered, now it's time to start figuring out what their schedule is going to be like. The first thing that you're going to want to know is how long can that teacher in school commit to the InVEST program. Sometimes it's going to be as little as 2 weeks. We don't recommend it being any shorter than 2 weeks, so 2 weeks is really the time frame that we're hoping for. Other times they're ready to jump right in and go for a full semester program. I will say it's very rare that a start-off program will want to take on the full responsibility of a semester-long program. We're really looking the average that we see new programs starting are usually about between the 4 and 6 week mark. So be prepared that that's probably what they're going to respond to. The next thing you're going to want to ask is what topics are a priority for them. If they're only able to teach it for 4 weeks, what do they want to make sure that they cover? A lot of times our programs really want to focus on auto insurance because that's what's relative to 17, 16-year-olds that are learning to drive. Perhaps they've already gotten into a car accident. Maybe they've already had a traffic violation and they've noticed their insurance policy spike. That's the information that most teachers are really looking to get to the students. In addition to the career skills, which can all kind of be bundled up together. And also we want to know where we can really fit in those guest speakers. So here's just a list of the chapters that we have in our ebook and textbook. Again, a lot of times the teachers are really going to focus usually on these first 8 chapters or so, really talking about auto insurance. There are some that really do want to hone in on this homeowners and renters insurance. Again, each teacher might do it differently, so just be open to what they want to cover, and we can figure out how to make it work within their time frame. Another great resource for our programs, especially the new program starting up, is our 6-week model. Next Thursday, I'll actually be doing another webinar on the 6-week model to go through in more detail how the 6-week model works. Basically, this was created as we were seeing that teachers wanted a little bit more structure. So even though we've seen a lot of success with the program being flexible and the fact that teachers can really adapt it to what works best for them, there were a lot of teachers that really liked having the idea of a set lesson plan. So we created a 6-week model really going through exactly what they can teach, the lesson plans, any games, where the volunteers can fit in, the presentations for them. So it's a great resource for them as well, and you can find this on our website. So once you've got the schedule all set up, the last thing you're going to want to, or the next thing you're going to want to do is arrange guest speakers. We've seen a lot of success with guest speakers in the classroom. Here is Andrew down in Miami taking a selfie with his InVEST students. But being able to arrange those guest speakers really provides that outside world reality to the students. Most times the teachers are really looking for information about the specifics of insurance that they're not comfortable teaching. So that issues and automobile insurance chapter may be a great area for a guest speaker. Oftentimes, it's just going in to talk to them about the careers in insurance, and we have presentations available for all of those topics for our volunteers to use. So once you've been able to lay out that schedule, trying to work back with those that committee that you've built and that group of insurance professionals that are interested, and be able to figure out where you can fill the holes in, where you can get those guest speakers in. I'm going to take just a couple minutes in just a moment to show you where you can access a lot of those resources on our website. Just very briefly, I'm going to show you, where on our website you can find those resources and where you can point the teachers to. But I did want to put the email address up here where you can contact us for more information. So if you want any of those handouts that I showed you, the folders for meeting with the teachers, or maybe you want some handouts for your agents or local insurance professionals to show more information about InVEST and gain interest, email us at info@investprogram.org. That email address goes to all 3 InVEST staff members, and so lots of times you'll get a little bit of a faster response, especially if one of us is out of the office or traveling. And again, our website is investprogram.org, and that's where you can go to access all of our resources. So this is the InVEST website. Again, I'm not going to go through our whole website here. This is just to show you where to access the resources. Our website launched a couple months ago, so if you haven't visited us in a while, you realize it probably looks a lot different, but everything is so much easier to find now and a lot better organized. We have 3 separate home pages, so I'm just taking you through here on the teacher page. And say you've met with a teacher and they're ready to go. If they click on the Start a Program page, they can actually fill out all their information about their program and submit it to us. If you are working with a school that is about to register, shoot us an email and let us know, because if we get just a blanket email from a school looking to get involved, we will reach back out with them and try to get them to do a webinar and teach them more about the InVEST program. But if you've already gone through that with the school, then we don't need to do that again. So just let us know if you've been working with the school and for us to expect this form or email from the teacher. And this is also where the teachers can access all of their resources. We don't email or hard copy any information out. The only hard copy thing that we have anymore is our textbook, but our textbook is available in an ebook as well. But everything else the teachers actually find on here. So once they've had that username and password, once they've registered, they'll be able to access everything here. If you want us to go through and show the teachers where to find the resources that they need, we're more than happy to do that, or if you're comfortable showing them, you're welcome to do that as well. But if you see over here, we have everything separated by different resource. If they click on the teacher and textbook guide, and this little thing comes down, you'll see all the resources related to that chapter are underneath of that particular chapter. So they can access the PowerPoint, activities, the ebooks, the quizzes, things like that, all within that particular area. Now for our insurance professionals, we found that instead of you guys wanting to dig around and find different things, we just put everything all in one page. So if you just click on that insurance professionals tab and then resources, you'll see all of the resources just listed down here for you to easily grab off. Now keep in mind, for everything with this little lock on here, you are going to have to be signed in order to access that. There's no cost to register, as I've said before, but you would just need to be able to let us know that you're interested in getting involved with InVEST. You can email that same info@investprogram.org email address, and all we have to do is just set you up with permission. Your login would be the same as your Big I login. So if you already access the Big I website, whether it's at your state or national, it's going to be the same login information. However, unless you're given InVEST permissions, you still won't be able to download those resources. Everything without a lock, you're able to download without being able to sign in. We have all of our career day information live, since that's one of the many things we get asked for a lot. But the PowerPoint presentations and activities specific to our program, we keep those locked down just so we can keep track of how many people are using our resources, and also make sure that the students can't go on and access what we're going to be learning for the day. You'll find all that information here. Well, thank you so much for joining this presentation today. We appreciate your interest in InVEST and your interest in getting involved at your in your local area. If you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me directly. My email address is jennifer.robinson@iiaba.net, or you can email our info box at info@investprograms.org. Thank you so much, and good luck with your initiative.